This place has really been designed around us. It's about having a space that works for you.
Before we even designed this apartment, we had to think about what do we actually need. Everything has a place, down to where the teapot might have its place. So this is a compact apartment, 25 square meters.
This is our living room, our dining room, our hosting space. It's all in one, and so we've had
That's where we sleep as well.
Yeah, correct, over there.
Sydney's property market has really caused us to think creatively in terms of where we live and how we live.
We have tried to fit out this place so that the storage suits the things that we have, not more, not less.
And that's just being mindful and really questioning, do we really need this and how does it really add value to our life?
Part of using this space well has been incorporating a lot of storage. We've got lots of little nooks and crannies where we can tuck things away. This table can be packed away above the oven. We can reconfigure the space depending on what we're doing and depending on our needs. This screen door here can open out so that you can watch TV while sitting on the couch, or it can close and watch TV from bed. After we wash the dishes, we put them away above the sink. That's a good use of space. We don't have any door handles in the apartment, and it sounds like such a simple thing, but it just means you can move around a lot more freely. To be honest, one of the biggest benefits of living here is how easy this place is to clean. I'd say it takes half an hour to clean the whole place. I mean, it sounds silly, but we really appreciate that because we don't want to spend all our time and energy thinking about maintaining, and having a small, decluttered, very simple place means we can spend time and energy doing other things. Living in a tiny apartment does mean that we don't have our own backyard.
We have an abundance of parks around the area. That's been a big part of why we chose this place. One of the sustainable aspects about living in a compact apartment is that you have a smaller footprint. We're only taking up 12, 13 square meters each, I guess. We need to be conscious about how we live and the way we live in a space, and definitely push for sustainability when we can. As cities grow and land becomes more scarce, compact living is one of the ways you can live in an efficient way. It's not feasible to continuously build new structures. We should rethink the whole process, be considering how we can adapt existing buildings to suit our needs.
Hello and welcome to the show. Well, recently realestate.com.au announced the winner of the inaugural The Real Ideas Prize is Sophie Lyon, a director at Jellis, Craig Hawthorne. Now, Sophie is my guest today on the show, but firstly, a bit of information about The Real Idea. It's a nationwide competition for real estate industry professionals to reimagine the rental experience in Australia, and it offers a total prize pool of $100,000. Sophie, congratulations and welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Appreciate you having me.
And is that the trophy I can see behind you?
It is, yes, there it is.
There it is. Well done. I'm going to get to the invention that won that prize for you in just a moment. But firstly, tell me a little bit about yourself, your business, and the market that you operate in.
Yeah, sure. So I'm a director of Jellis, Craig, Burundara. So we have 3 offices in the inner southeast of Melbourne, in Hawthorne, Glen Iris and Borland. I have a team of about 34 people. We manage just under 3,000 properties. So yeah, keeps me pretty busy.
Wow, 3,000 properties. How many offices did you say?
We have 3 offices, but property management is all centralised in Hawthorne.
And how many on your team?
34.
34. Okay, now I understand that your idea was inspired by Uber of all things, and you've called it Show Me Now. What does it do?
It's basically a platform, an app platform that will connect tenants with a mobile leasing workforce. So just to make it a bit easier for tenants to see properties as and when they want to see them, as opposed to when they've been advertised or even sort of outside of business hours.
You're very active, of course, as you've said to us, with your own portfolio. Did that help you identify this need? Tell me a little bit about how it came about.
Yeah, absolutely. So because I do still manage my own portfolio, I do open for inspections regularly. And having conversations with tenants, they do tend to find it a bit frustrating if they're working full time. When we're opening properties during the week, obviously they can't get there. And then on a Saturday, sometimes they're having to make decisions around which property they want to go and see, because there'll be 2 or 3 properties open at the same time. And because they're only open for a 15-minute window, it's very, very difficult for them to get from one property to the other to be able to see all of them at the same time.
So was it the competition that inspired you to develop it, or had you already been working on the idea?
The idea's been in my head for a while, and it was really just one of those situations where the REA competition came up, and I sort of looked at it and then deleted the email and just went on with my work, and then it came up again, and I thought, well, you know what, I might just do this. So I just downloaded the idea onto the application, and this is where we ended up. And
you got through to the final few, which is just fantastic. Must have been a great feeling. Then the judging by realestate.com.au involved you having to pitch the idea to a panel of judges. That must have really tested you and the idea, I guess.
Yes. Just a bit, because it was one of those situations where, as I said, when I put the application in, it was all in my head. And then when I got to the finals, I actually had to get it out of my head and make it into something that was that I could explain to the judges, that I could make them see the need for. And so it was actually a really good process, because it made me work through what how it would work and what the need was, and really having to articulate it as opposed to just being a bit of an idea bubble.
Yeah, I guess that's a great idea too, because it allows you to really think it through rather than sort of rush in and just assume there's a need for it. Now, you received a cash prize of $50,000 to develop the idea, then $10,000 for yourself as the investor, or the inventor, sorry. Well deserved too. Have you estimated how much time or how much money it's going to cost to fully develop and release Show Me Now?
I've been speaking to a few people lately. Obviously, being a property manager, real estate agent, it's not my skill set to be able to go out and invent an app from scratch. So I've been talking to a few people about the possibility of partnering up with existing platforms, and to create an app. There's millions of dollars invested in that if you're trying to do it from the ground up. So at the moment, it's a lot of research and development and reaching out to people that I know and asking for help, really.
Yeah, I suppose the $50,000 is going to help you go through the process of trying to source that funding, which is really an important place to start. Have you got any idea when we can expect to see it possibly rolled out?
To be honest, not at this stage, but I would really like to see something happen, or something definite happen by, within 12 months. So something that I can point to and say, okay, here's where we started, and there's actually a quantifiable point that we're at then that I can show people.
Yeah, quite often I've seen people who've invented apps like this in the development stage. They'll make some changes to it, and it may even give them ideas to develop others. Has that happened to you yet? Are there any other things that you're working on or think you might work on?
I think that if I can get Show Me to the point where it's working and working well, I don't see any reason why it can't expand beyond just showing vacant properties and maybe move into like routine inspections, final inspections, ingoing condition reports. Having all of that functionality on demand for property managers would definitely free up an awful lot of their time to be able to spend more time in the office dealing with the clients rather than going out and doing a condition report, for argument's sake, that whilst it's an important part of the role, it does take them away from that customer-facing role.
Well, necessity, of course, we know is the mother of all invention, and great inventions come out of necessity for that reason. And you're working in the field all the time. Can you tell me, have you been able to identify what you think are the biggest challenges ahead for property managers and real estate business owners, say in the next couple of years?
I think it's very much around that technology piece, very much around taking a lot of those day-to-day functions, which at the moment are performed quite manually, and being able to convert those through into either automated functions or very clear prompts, because it really does come back to that thing around customer service and the customer relationship. So being able to free the property managers up to be able to concentrate on that and give a higher level of value to the clients than what we're currently able to give them with the technology that exists at the moment.
Yeah, well, I guess it's inventions or apps like the one that you've invented that's certainly going to help that relationship or build that relationship, because we've got to make it as easy as we can for consumers to deal with us. That's really what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Making it easier for them to find their home and easier for us to be able to give them the opportunity to see it and to find it.
Sophie, it's been great talking to you. Congratulations again on the win. Have you decided how you're going to spend your $10,000 yet, or are you going to put that into the app as well?
No, I think that's probably going to go towards it as well, to be honest. It's I think every little cent's going to help.
Yeah. Good on you. All the best for your work. Congratulations on the award, Sophie, and thank you for spending some time with us today.
Thanks so much, Kevin. All the best to you.
Well, one of my objectives for this year as a business was to travel for 50% of the year and to increase my profits by 50%. The first thing I do when I get anywhere, doesn't matter if I'm there for one night, I will unpack. I'll get everything out of my bag, pop in the drawers and make me feel like that's my room and feels like home that way. The best thing about being a digital nomad is being able to prioritise life over work and really living it to its absolute max. My average work would be around 4 to 5 hours a day. Has definitely made me more efficient, can fit into a day what I would fit into a week in an office. There's no interruptions of people coming to your desk, phone calls. So my top tips for travel would definitely be to travel light and don't take a carry-on suitcase, take a really lightweight bag. Secondly would be to try and stay in routine, whether that's having the same breakfast, working in exercise. It'll keep you from getting exhausted. The best way to keep in touch with my friends and family when I'm away is definitely through social media. I think the way the world's moving in terms of business, everyone's really mobile, and I think work-life balance is something that people really value. My main learnings is that I should have done it earlier. I thought it was going to be really hard to do. I think with technology that's around and the openness of people to do business and communicate in those ways, it's actually not that hard. You've just got to give it a go and stop talking about doing it and just do it.